Okay, boys, we're here again for another episode. So today we will discuss cartoons, cartoon slash animations. The same old thing. We're gonna kick it off with discussing the earliest memories that you have of watching cartoons. Um, Timothy, I'll let you kick it off, please.
Oh God, I really didn't want you to because um,
Why
I'd
not?
say I don't know. My memories is crap. Um, I'd say my first memory of cartoon would have been probably Rugrats or Recess. I'm trying to think if there's anything off. I mean, Rugrats was on a British channel. It wasn't always on Cartoon Network, wasn't it? It was on like ITV or Channel
Yeah,
5. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
ITV
it
or
was
CBBC.
CITV,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. I
Yeah,
can't even remember whether it was on the BBC or ITV, but
It was
to be honest,
CITV. I'm sure of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
yeah.
One thing I should mention, I mean, in terms of really, really early memories, a lot of mine's going to be ITV and CBBC and all that shit, because I didn't end up getting Sky until a little bit later on. But yeah, I definitely do remember watching Rugrats a lot as well myself, and I definitely was on terrestrial TV.
Mm. There's a lot of that. I mean, like the quality of the cartoons was obviously, well, if a child was watching it who was born nowadays, I'd say this is
Mm.
bollocks. But anyway, that's what we knew. It was quality. There was that. There was Recess. There was Hey Arnold, which was on BBC. I remember that just about. Um, Cartoon Network bits and bobs. I mean, in all honesty, my family was probably late adopter of like Sky because I remember like Sky
Mm.
came into the UK probably when I was like 12 or 13 years old, maybe like a little bit older, and we were still watching the five channels. We just about got like the free view, whatever was prior to that. It's almost like it's not like satellite, but it was on there's something prior to that itself. But we then eventually adopted to Sky Sports and Sky One when Sky One was the absolute dog's bollocks. Now it's like it's like the spare channel that Sky had basically.
Mm.
But Cartoon Networky bits only when I went to friends' house when they had Sky, I would watch it and I was like Powerpuff Girls and hey, what's the
Dexter,
kid Dexter? That's the one.
Dexter's
He was like
Laboratory.
that's the one. Um, what was the one with the the Perry the Platypus? Is it Perry
Oh,
the Platypus?
but no.
I can't remember, but he was up. Used to watch that as well. Watched My Chops. Um, there was like an American kid and a British dog, and no one believed the kid that the dog could actually talk. Um, I mean, again, I'm in my early 30s, but I can barely remember what happened like the last few days, mate. So those are my, in all honesty, those are my memories of cartoons, and I know that you guys are going to have a much better memory of it.
You go, McSweeney. What about you?
I mean, you know what? You just pulled out some blinders there. I haven't got any of those on my list, except for Hey Arnold,
Really?
actually. Hey Arnold
Yes.
was the only one. Obviously, I'm a little bit older than you, mate, three and a bit years. So
Mm,
I started watching cartoons. It would have been about 93, the year you were born. And,
yeah.
and I could actually just about remember that. The funny thing is, I actually had a flashback during lockdown about this. So all the time we had during lockdown, and it
Mm.
just came to me one night. It was like, oh yeah, I remember that cartoon when I was like 3 or 4 years old, around sort of nursery time. It's called Bar the Elephant.
I don't remember that
What?
one.
Basically it's a French Canadian. I think it's like a French book, yeah. But I think the Canadians sort of hijacked it to an extent in terms of the production of the TV series. But yeah, it was initially a French book, and it's I think probably for like the 30s or so. It's like a really old book, and they produced a TV series out of it. It's based on this elephant that his mum gets killed in the jungle. Yeah, he's an African elephant, and then he escapes the wild and he finds this big city. Yeah, meets this old lady that then sort of takes him in, chooses him, gives him clothes and that sort of stuff. He's dressed up in a suit. He's looking the absolute the governor. Yeah, and then his cousins join him. he then returns back to the jungle after his cousins are sort of like rounded up with him, and the king of the elephants then dies of being poisoned. I had to read up on this, by the way, because I can't remember the exact plot as it is, but at that point he then becomes the king, Baba, and then he's like living in this big house, almost like a mansion with the old lady, and the funny thing is, you know, royal families like marry into like their cousins and that.
Mm.
Have you heard that before? Like about royal family and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I have.
They're
Yeah,
distantly related and like that sort of stuff.
yeah.
He marries his cousin, and I couldn't
Yeah.
remember that for the life of me. But imagine showing that to kids when you're like that young.
Hmm.
It's it's a little bit strange, but yeah,
Jesus Christ.
that was my first one, and you can see why now these days you probably wouldn't get away with airing that on TV. But that would have aired probably around that time I was born. But then they had like loads of series of it. After that, Flintstones, Tom and Jerry, DuckTales, Chip and Dale, Looney Tunes.
Mm.
Good
Look
choice.
at Tom and Jerry. That was one of the older ones. That I remember an episode where there's like this Hoover that basically looked like a ghost. This vacuum cleaner turns on, and because there's this white sheet over it, it looks like a ghost. I remember seeing that like a few times around my grandparents' house. Looney Tunes, obviously, you got Foghorn Leghorn, yours truly. I did the voiceover back then. What Yosemite Sam, you know, Tasmanian Devil, Marvin the Martian, always sort of funny characters. Speedy Gonzales, DuckTales had Donald Duck. Sorry, Daffy Duck in Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny. Chip and Dale was a Rescue Rangers. Do you guys remember Chip and Dale?
No, I don't.
Tom's not remember it, is he?
Probably not if I don't remember it.
Chip and Dale. So that was a Mega Drive game as well. And then also
No,
Dennis the
yeah.
Menace.
God, I don't even know what it is.
Dennis the Menace from the Beano, from the comics. I used to collect the comics. So it kind of extends my memory, early memories of collecting the comics for that every week. Yeah, so that's my early fond memories.
Yeah, there's a few there which I also did remember watching myself. I mean, to be honest with you, if I think back, I mean, I can dish out a few names, but I'm sure I'm going to miss out quite a few as well. I mean, Arthur was a big one, which I was a huge fan of growing up.
Yeah,
Arthur the Aardvark, Rugrats, as Timothy mentioned, you know, Wacky Races. I remember I used to watch that. Used to love
oh
watching
yeah,
that. I think I mentioned in the TV shows podcast and how I always wanted the two cavemen to always win. I don't know. I always felt sorry for them for some reason. Mona the Vampire, Smurfs, Tom and Jerry was a big favorite in our house growing up. We used to love Tom and Jerry. I always used to try and watch that whenever it was on. There was this one, I think, Land of the Dinosaurs or Land of the something. I can't remember what it was. There was a film about it as well. There was Dink the Dinosaur, another one that just randomly popped into my head.
Yeah, that rings
Recess,
a bell.
yeah, Recess, as I think Timothy mentioned. Lloyd in Space, I used to like that as well. That used to be on Disney Channel, I believe, mainly. It used to be on ITV, but then obviously once the whole Sky thing came about, um, the more and more TV cartoons were being shown exclusively there. So yeah, well the biggest one of all got to be Simpsons. Watched a lot of that growing
yeah.
up as well, and yeah, still to this day I still watch it. So that's definitely obviously right up there, which we will discuss later in our favorites list.
Was
Yeah,
there ever? I was going to ask you, was there ever Mickey Mouse? I'm trying to think. That was more just like Disney films and stuff, wasn't it?
I'm
Was there any
yeah.
cartoons? Mickey Mouse.
There's none that I actually remember. I remember that we had the Sega Mega Drive game, Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion, I
Yeah,
think it was.
that was it. Yes,
And
yeah.
I even like I'll go back on YouTube and I watch them playing it again, and I'm like, fucking, I
Oh,
remember that all the music. It just brings me back the stage music and everything. It just really
yeah.
takes you back when you watch it. And yeah, I don't actually remember any actual, you know, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse related actual cartoons back in those days. But
Mm.
to be honest, like going back to the original question, earliest memories, it was literally coming home from school and then sticking on the telly and then we're watching whatever was on. Those were the days, you know, there was no on-demand bullshit. Or waking up in the morning before school, turning it on, watching a little bit before we head off to school, And then again, waking up in the weekends and knowing obviously we've got a couple of hours of it. I do say I didn't really enjoy weekends back in the day as much because we used to have Arabic reading at 10 o'clock, and we used to go to my neighbor's house to do Arabic reading from like 10 to 12. So you can imagine you're a kid and you're growing up and you're waking up obviously for a couple of 2 hours or so watching some cartoons, enjoying your life, and then bosh, off we go to Arabic reading. So
Oh no,
it was a pain.
they should
Of
have done it the
course.
other way around. They should have done it the other way around. But obviously back then, I don't know if you had a VCR that could record stuff.
Yeah, we did. I mean, the old episodes of Pokemon. Another one I should mention: Pokemon, Digimon, two of my favorite cartoons growing up. But in terms of early years, probably not so much because they came a little bit later on. Like we're talking when Pokemon and Digimon had its little bang, later on in life. But yeah, there was. I remember Pokemon used to come on around about the time we used to have to leave the house to go Arabic reading. And yeah, we was always gutted because we couldn't watch it. But obviously, back in those days, you're a kid, you can't say you got to just do what you need, do what you're told, basically. So yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't really get to enjoy it as much. Is my point. And obviously, back in those days, before the CBBC and CITV channels actually came about, you had those time slots, for cartoons
yeah,
specifically on TV. It was either you watch it then and they're gone until the afternoon if it's a weekday, and then obviously if it's a weekend, then yeah, you get a little bit more in the mornings. But yeah, Simpsons was one obviously you can enjoy later on in the day, so that was always good. So yeah, we'll go on to our lists of favorite cartoons. This is a tough one to put into a list, in all honesty, for me, in terms of one, two, and three. But I feel like I've chosen what I feel is the best representation of it. Again, Timothy, I'll start off with you first. If I can have your number one, two, and three of your favorite cartoons of all time, please.
Certainly. So, um, I know one and two, but three. I know what my favourite one is. Should I start with that? No, I won't. Tell you what, I know what I'll do. Um, Number three, and controversial if you want to do it. Futurama. Futurama, I absolutely loved because it was the
Mm.
first um cartoon where a character was a little bit foul-mouthed in Bender the robot when he said bite my shiny metal ass, and he was I know that Homer Simpson and all of his boys always drank beer and stuff and so on and so forth, but it was a robot that drank beer, and it was probably the first time that I actually understood like a cartoon and like what the characters were actually doing instead of just like talking and so on and so forth. I know it sounds weird, but I enjoyed it. Probably enjoyed it more because I, at that age, probably enjoyed space and I enjoyed the future and I enjoyed like spaceships and so on and so forth. Like I enjoyed aliens and it all had that. It
Mm.
was for those who probably don't understand it, to the one or two listeners that they're going to get. It was about a pizza, the delivery guy who delivers pizza. Was it 1999, New Year's Eve, going into the year 2000? He then delivers pizza somewhere, gets pranked. He then falls into like a time machine that goes forward 1,000 years, wakes up in the year 3000, and there's flying spaceships everywhere. There's like a one-eyed alien girl who he ends up falling in love with, and he's like best mates with like a robot, and it's madness. It's pure madness. But I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant. Um, Number two and number three. Now this is where we'll get a bit controversial. Number two for me is The Simpsons. Again, Matt Groening, however you want to pronounce his name. He's obviously created loads of different cartoons, and he first started with The Simpsons. Feels like The Simpsons started in like the 17th century. It's been around for so long. I mean, when did it start? Like early 90s?
89, 89 or 90, I think it was around then.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure if it was the late 80s, like very late 80s. I thought it was, but I gave it a bit of a benefit of the doubt.
Well,
But
I remember the first series was like so much different to the ones after. Like you could tell
Yeah.
the early ones, like the Homer's beards look different and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think that was the 89 one, but then they
Yeah,
redid it and refined it. I think that was in 1991. Yeah.
yeah,
And it wasn't even that. It was like their voices of the actors as well was so cardboard like and so riggedy. Like when they would talk like this. Like there was a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of enunciation. And it then gradually got better. And obviously it's now been around for what, 30, 40 years and near enough. Still making up shit on the fly. I mean, they're obviously keeping up with the times and all that jazz, and but it's obviously they're doing something right. And they've been around for so long. Um, everyone can relate. I mean, kids can relate, adults can relate if adults still watch it. Obviously, you do, Mudge, still, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it's just brilliant. I like it's been a staple of not just America but the UK. I mean, what's it on the UK now? Is it on Channel 4? Because it
Oh,
used to be Sky.
I don't even know what it's on anymore because I just watch it on Disney Plus. I don't even watch it on TV anymore.
Yeah, I think it's on. I think
Got,
it's. But yeah, you watch it on the app as well.
yeah,
Jeez.
I've not watched it on TV for donkey's years. But back in the day, it used to be on It used to be on Channel 4. The last I remember on terrestrial
Yeah.
TV. It used to be on BBC first, then Sky.
yeah.
Sky One took it, but then Channel 4 bought the rights, and I remember watching it last on TV. Actual terrestrial TV was on Channel 4.
hmm Yeah, it's on Channel 4. Next episode is at 2:25. I'm just flicking through the channels.
Ah, so they still got it
Uh,
then, yeah.
yeah, the season 24, episode 10 out of 22.
Oh,
Jesus.
bloody hell.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched it in ages, but I'll obviously flick through and watch it if I could, but not at 2:25 in the morning. Um, for me, I mean, number one, I don't know if you guys have you probably have watched it. Don't know if you've enjoyed it, but for me, it's dark humor as an adult. But it's for Family Guy.
I thought you were going to say South Park or something for a
I thought
second.
you could say that, but then that makes sense. That makes sense. Family Guy, yeah,
Mm.
I mean, South Park. I completely forgot about South Park when it came to cartoons, to be honest. But that could will get a shout out. Family Guy for me, it's just dark humor. It's dark
Mm.
comedy. It's in your face. They they're with the times. A lot of the characters are just next level. It's just outrageous TV, I find, and probably I mean like the latest series. I started watching it about 15 years ago, so I think they started just before 2000. I think just for yeah, and again, it started off very basic. It was a little bit funny, not as funny as it is now, as it was in its best series. I've not watched it in ages, and I used to start watching it at night, which I think it started on BBC Three. I think it started to
Yeah.
show them at like
Yeah.
11 o'clock or like 10:30, and I watched it in bed just before I went to sleep. And like American Dad as well, I find funny as hell, but not one of my favourites. Um, and yeah, I loved it loads. And then um, gradually kind of got out of it where I had kids, so I don't watch it now. Literally, as soon as I go to bed, I go to bed. I don't watch TV in the room anymore. Um, but prior to me, the last time I watched it, I think it was in like series 20 or whatever the latest series was, and it was funny, but not as funny as it used to be, where it was like a machine gun funny, like joke after joke after joke. You could barely keep up, and then you're pissing yourself laughing, and then the next one you're pissing yourself laughing. But I think the humour was still there. It was still funny, but not a machine gun. It was like a shotgun funny a little bit, but the jokes were still rapid, but not as rapid as they used to be. Um, Still love it. It's a cartoon that adults love. I mean, you can't go wrong. It kind of brings out the inner kid, and I'll probably be watching. Yeah, I'll probably be watching cartoons a little bit more now as my kids get older, but they're still playing with toys instead of really watching cartoons and TV. So aside from that, South Park, shout out, completely forgot. Looking forward to watching the episode where the devil has sex with Trump. I think that's the latest episode that's come out. I think, like, yeah, the devil has sex with Trump. Trump went absolutely bollock mad. And then South Park just went, sorry, but not sorry. I mean, fuck you. It's a free media. We do what we want to do. American Dad, again, shout out. The ones that you guys mentioned, and Tom and Jerry, completely forgot about Tom and Jerry. Um, what was the one that you mentioned, Simon's? Like the Middletons or Chippendales or something like that?
Chippendale Rescue Rangers. So he had like a Fat Cat who was like the villain in that, and there was a game on the Nintendo NES for that I had. But yeah, just took two chipmunks. Like, oh yeah, it's no one, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
and there's a character
God.
called Simon in that as well.
Yeah, the one with
So
the
that should
glasses.
be one of my favourites. But yeah, Chip and Dale was like they're like inspectors or investigators, and they would basically or even be like vigilantes trying to bring down this evil corporation, which was I think owned by Fat Cat, the character. Yeah, so that was the one. But so are you going to be obviously starting off when you show your kids your daughters cartoons? You can start off work your way backwards with Family Guy, then do Futurama, then Simpsons. Yeah.
Oh my God, I try not to swear in front of the kids anyway, but if I was to show them for Family Guy, I would just be swearing my arse off left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
Trying to think different. I'm like, we gradually, like when they were really young. I mean, obviously, like not even like a year old yet. But when they were a few months old, just to have it on in the background, we watched a few films, but like Disney-based films. And like, I'd love to start off with that. I mean, cartoon films, I could probably do a whole new podcast on that because they're brilliant cartoon films out there. But uh, Louis, I think they started to watch a few episodes of that when they were like getting really moany. The missus would put that on and they'll chill out. There was another one. I don't. Oh my God, my brain. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but it's on the BBC. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching cartoons. Can't wait. Who wants to go next?
McSweeney, you go, mate.
Right. So I like to see these things in reverse order. I think we did it with the other podcast as well. So I'm going to go number 3 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ooh.
And I absolutely love that. But the reason being, obviously, you're looking at, is it 4 of them? You got Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael. I think it's 4 of them, isn't it?
Yeah,
Have I
4.
missed
Yeah.
anyone out?
No, 4.
Yeah, 4. So yeah, and again, you can hear this a lot. I had the game for this on the Mega Drive, which we rented from that was a store called Blockbuster many moons ago. Favorite character was Donatello with his staff. Obviously, turtles that like pizza. Pizza's a pretty cool thing. Growing up, being younger, get introduced to foods like pizza, a bit different to the usual sort of bland British food that we I'm sure our previous generations were subjected to. Shredder. What was that big? What was there? Is it called a sensei? Who's the
rat.
character? The rat. Yeah. What was he called?
I can't remember his name, but yeah, he was like the teacher, the sensei, as you say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
know his name though.
And Shredder, and then I think I saw the film. The film was pretty bad. It had Kevin Nash in it, actually, funny enough, as Shredder, of all people. Probably just due to his size. I think he was Shredder. But yeah, that was one of the ones that I remember being a standout just for the full package, really. The cool look of the turtles and the game alongside it, the cartoons, the TV series, all that sort of stuff. Number 2 is there was an Aladdin TV series around about 95, I believe. Anyone remember that?
I think I do remember watching Aladdin back in the day. Yeah.
Tom, you're a bit too young.
No, it's cheating, mate. That's cheating. That's
Well,
surely cheating.
Thing is, the first film came out. I checked earlier. The first one came out in '92, which obviously I don't remember back then, even me. The second film, which was Return of Jafar, I believe was around. Yarny was that was released, I think, just after this TV series. But actually, the TV series was meant to be a sequel to Return of Jafar. so they kind of got the ordering a bit wrong in terms of the actual story. But yeah, that was pretty good. That was on some Saturday kids program they had in the morning. Was it Live and Kicking or something, or SMTV Live? Something they used to show on a Saturday morning. I think Craig Doyle was a presenter, one of them. But they obviously show that as part of it, and then there'd be other stuff that they have on there, like, you know, it's like some sort of so it's almost like a Blue Peter thing, but like for kids.
I remember the shows. Yeah.
Do you remember those? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching SMTV a lot.
SMTV Live, yeah. And yeah, I mean, obviously the character, I mentioned it previously, that was one of my favourite Disney films growing up. Princess Jasmine, Aladdin himself, the genie. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And then my number one is the one that's already been mentioned a few times, and it's Simpsons. I think that's going to be a regular theme, isn't it, for us on here?
Yeah.
I remember that round about 97, and the most distinctive episode that came on was the one where Krusty the clown gets framed.
Yeah.
Was it for shoplifting?
For armed robbery. In the Quickie Mart. Yeah.
Quickie Mart. That was it. With Apu, isn't it?
Yep.
Nahasa Pima Petalon, yeah.
Apu Nahasa Pasa Pizza. Yeah.
Nahasa Pima Petalon.
Who don't exist anymore thanks to the woke cunts.
But this is it. But I can you go back to Paint Bar the Elephant that someone found this year back because it was like some colonial reference. Look, Speedy Gonzalez, apparently they thought the Mexicans would absolutely hate that, and they didn't find it offensive at all. But that was one of my, going back to Simpsons, that the most distinctive episode that I remember was being, oh no, Krusty's being done, and then it was his Sideshow Bob, wasn't it? With the shoes, the ridiculously big shoes. He got done for that. Was it Treehouse Horror? What was the Halloween special? Was it Treehouse of Horror?
Yeah, it was.
That was it. With the aliens as well, I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
Kango and Kodos.
That was it. And then there was one where was it Lisa was like seeing a fortune teller and she meets this English guy. I think the voiceover.
Yeah.
Was the guy called Hugh? I think wasn't the voiceover. Was the voiceover Hugh Grant?
No, I actually don't know if it was Hugh Grant. The guy was named Hugh.
He was, wasn't he?
Episode. Yeah, he was named Hugh, but I don't know who did the voiceover.
But it's probably one of the reasons why the Americans think we're so bloody posh. It's because of that, isn't it? It's probably that and Love Actually.
To be honest, a lot of the British accents that they do in The Simpsons, especially in those early days, are very posh. You know, that's how they portrayed the British people. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'll wrap up with one other guy that was in it. He was called Carl. He's like really, really sort of raspy voice. Do you remember?
Carl. You mean Lenny and Carl?
No, Lenny and Carl. I'm sure it's another Carl because it's a blonde guy. It's like Mr. Simpson, like that really raspy voice. You got Lenny and Carl.
Oh yes, from the Mr. episode where he becomes on the episode where he becomes Mr. Where he gets his what's it called, the hair formula to get his hair.
That was it.
Carl. Yeah. He was only in one episode. Yeah.
Is he like some sort of dodgy salesman or something?
No. He becomes his secretary, doesn't he? And he basically helps him become successful. But yeah, it was a one-off appearance. And then
that was it.
It was like his guardian angel.
That was it. Yeah, and then I've even just thought of something else. It was that, remember that Cloud Kalash stuff up was it the Twin Towers?
Oh, the episode you mean?
Yeah, it was like he's dying for the toilet, and then the Twin Towers, and it's like, have you got anything to eat or drink? He's like, only Cloud Kalash and crab juice.
Their food was crab kalash, and then he drank a shit ton of crab juice, so he needed to go to the toilet. So then he went to the toilet from one tower to another, and the guy came to gave him his ticket. So yeah, it was a good episode.
Mate.
But they didn't show that in the UK. That episode they didn't show in the UK because of the Twin Towers and what happened in September 11th. So I didn't actually watch that episode until I think we got Disney Plus, or we downloaded it on torrents back in the day. Because that episode was forbidden to be shown in a lot of
I'm sure I saw it.
Did you? You must have seen it in the early days, but we never saw the episode on TV because it wasn't allowed on TV.
Yeah.
And then like I said, we had to download it to watch it for the first time. So yeah.
Yeah, well, but that again, I remember some random things, but yeah, it's just little things like that. Occasionally, I say to my mate about Klav Kalash, and he just finds it so funny because we can't random references to
Yeah, yeah,
things like this and out of nowhere. But yeah, so Simpsons, top of my list. Can't really beat it.
yeah.
What about you?
To be honest, yeah, my number one is by a country mile, Simpsons.
Yeah,
Again, the one show in terms of rewatchability factor. I've lost count the amount of times I've rewatched it, and I've got to make an important point here. I'm talking seasons 1 to 10 slash maybe up until maybe 15, 14, 15, which is actually where I'm up to right now on Disney Plus. And I've rewatched it. Again, like I said, I've lost count. So normally what I do is I rewatch it all the way up until 14/15, and then I go back to one, and then I do it all over again. And this is in stints. Like, obviously, I like to have something on in the background in terms of the TV, especially like when I get home or when I'm in the house. I like something on. So Simpsons has always been a frequent thing that's always on. Um, the new stuff that they make now is absolute pony. I'd never, and I don't watch any of it. I think once I just randomly I was with a couple of other people who also like Simpsons, and we watched one of the three recent episodes, and it was just absolute pony, as I said. So yeah, seasons 1 to 8 is probably known as some of the best TV in terms of Simpsons, and then yeah, it starts to fade afterwards. But yeah, it's something I've been watching since I was a kid, and I still watch to this day. And yeah, again, like I said, rewatch them over and over again. The humor, the references, the characters. It's just everything is just so fucking great. And yeah, you can't go wrong with Simpsons in all honesty.
yeah.
So yeah, by a country mile, like I said, number one. Now, number two, again, I did mention this in the TV show program. I'm going to say Digimon because, again, it was a TV, it was a cartoon series which really did strike me when I was younger, and obviously I loved watching it. And again, it was that excitement of watching a new episode. And I've got the episodes on my PC, and every now and again, from time to time, I'll crack it on. I do want to rewatch it, as I have mentioned to you both in the previous podcast. I do want to rewatch it when my kids are a little bit older. I've watched a few episodes with them, but they're still obviously not that interested. But I do want to rewatch two seasons 1 and 2, which are my favorite ones. Again, 3, 4, and 5, which they did make. I did try, and it was shit. So 1 and 2 are the ones I normally refer to. But yeah, it was just that thing of coming home from school and couldn't wait to watch Digimon. I gotta say, Pokemon's another one which was up there, and probably would have made my list until I thought of another one. So I gotta give a special mention to Pokemon, a game which I still play on my phone to this day. After getting back onto it last year when I stopped working. So Pokemon's obviously up there as well, but Digimon just had that extra element to it, which, don't know what the word is. It sort of touched the nerve. It was very, it struck me. It was more powerful. It was more emotional, Digimon, than Pokemon was. Pokemon was directed more, obviously, for kids. But with Digimon, it was a bit more serious, a bit more dark, which is why I really enjoyed it. And just the graphics and the way the Digimon would digivolve is still to this day when I watch it, it's like I'm still in awe of it. It's beautiful. Just watching it back again. So yeah, definitely Digimon is my number two. Number three, like I said, Pokemon probably would have made the list, but then I thought of one, which is the most recent one, and another one I've discussed in the TV show podcast, and it's Invincible. Obviously, it's more of an animation than it's still a cartoon. But like I think I mentioned the episode with the season finale of the current season, which was season 3. It was it was the best episode of TV I've ever seen in my life. It was so fucking good, and it's one of those shows, obviously, which is exclusive to Amazon Prime. Like I would wake up in the morning and I'd be like, oh yeah, shit, today the new episode of Invincible's coming out. I'm gonna download it and watch it when I get home. That's a rarity for me, even like to look forward to a bloody downloading an episode of TV to watch it that evening. Every episode there's always something great happening. There's always the story, it keeps you hooked to the edge of your seat, and you just can't wait to see what's going to happen the previous the next episode, I should say. and I cannot wait for season 4 to begin because the way the last season ended, it was amazing. So Invincible, although it's a very relatively new TV show, only started 2019, 2020, I think it was. It's fucking amazing, bloody brilliant.
How did you hear about it first?
Someone actually from SH, I think it was, or one of the places I worked. I think someone mentioned it. It was Jay actually. It was Jay.
What Chowan?
'Cause yeah, it was him.
Yeah.
He mentioned it, and he was, "Oh, have you seen Invincible?" Oh, no, I haven't. And with me, when it comes to watching something new, so people have recommended shit to me all the time, and I'm like, it takes a lot of effort to start something new. And I think I was just bored one day. This was obviously back in 20. I think it was 2022. You know what? I lie. It didn't start in 2019. I think it started a lot later than that. It might have been 2021, 2022. I was just flicking through Amazon and I was, oh yeah, I obviously had Amazon Prime. I'm like, fuck it, let me check out Invincible. I just watched one episode and I was like, fuck me, this is brilliant. And I just watched more and more and just got hooked on it. Obviously, it's 18, it's rated 18, so there's swearing, it's violent, really violent. So yeah, it just has everything to it. There's obviously that cartoon for being a cartoon, but it's not for kids at all. And it's basically superheroes. I love most things to do with superheroes, in all honesty. So that violent superheroes in an animation, it's brilliant. I mean, I know you guys have probably not watched it, but I cannot rate it highly enough, and I cannot recommend it more than my little pillar I want about it right now. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. So yeah,
Well, I was gonna say when you say it's violent, I mean, I'm kind of thinking back to Kill Bill where there's that comic part of it, isn't there? Where it's like
yeah.
samurais and stuff.
Well, to be honest, funny you mentioned Kill Bill because I just rewatched both of them on Friday night.
Oh right, yeah,
But yeah, a violent meaning, death, blood, killing people, breaking bones, it's
yeah.
an 18, it's rated 18. So yeah, it's very, very violent, crushing people's skulls and everything, obviously when they're fighting and stuff. So yeah, a lot of death, a lot of blood. So yeah,
Japanese are brutal, aren't they? At times, like you think, like again, the stuff that we produced, like I said earlier, like
yeah.
Dennis and Menace and stuff. Japanese
Of,
just go the other extreme.
Yeah, obviously they've got the big anime scene. I'm not into any
Yeah,
animes, in all honesty. I've never really watched it, never really got into it. I know Pokemon is still technically considered an anime, but to me it's a fucking cartoon. Invincible, obviously. I mean, it's not created by the Japanese. I think it's based off a book or a comic book. So it's not obviously linked to Japan in any way, but I know they made that genre famous, with the whole anime thing. But yeah, it's just such a good TV show. And like I said, I just can't wait for season 4 to begin so I can watch it. I think it comes out 2026 because you got to wait a long time for it. Oh, and I forgot to mention with Invincible, the voice cast is fucking amazing. If you actually go and look on IMDb or whatever, with the actors who played the voices, there's celeb after celeb. Not that it matters. I mean, I'm not watching it for the voice acting. I'm watching it for the actual TV show. But yeah, it's a big, big cast of it. So yeah, that is my top three. So
nice.
yeah. So next question is favorite cartoon character. Um, I will let Timothy go first if he's there. There he is.
I am inside, just busy doing something else. Peter Griffin. I mean, he's an idiot, very much which I am. He loves beer, very much which I do. Um, he's got decent mates. He's always on the piss. He's always throwing no punches in whatever he says and whatever he does, no matter if it's his wife or his friends or his kids, especially Meg. Um, he's just so outright and outrageously funny. I think he's a brilliant kind of character. I mean, trying to think of an actual TV, like actual film or whatever, if there's any actor that can actually play him. I don't think there is. I mean, you could probably say he's like the more um 15 plus version of Homer Simpson, but he's someone who likes beer and he's got his own little catchphrases and so on and so forth. That's obviously kind of role play there. Everyone's got their own saying and all that jazz. Mind you, throwback to when Family Guy and American Dad did their little cameo episode, didn't they? Like a little crossover episode.
Yeah.
I don't even know what year that was, but Arthur was still about. I think when that happened, and he had to go because he said something really bad on the internet, or like he did like a forum. Peter Griffin, he said something really bad on there, and there was a massive lawsuit then because apparently Pawtucket. What's the name of their beer? Oh my God.
Duff.
No, yeah, Duff is the Simpsons one.
Sam Adams, isn't it? Sam Adams.
Is it Samuel Adams? The one that they drunk?
I'm sure. Was that in American
Family
Dad
Guy?
or was that in Family Guy? Sam Adams.
Pawtucket Brewery is the name of the pub. I don't think it's the name of the brewery, but I don't think it's actually. Oh my God, I can't remember now. But I'm almost certain that the beer that the Simpsons were drinking,
Pawtucket.
Duff.
Yeah.
It was Pawtucket. That's the one.
Yeah. Google answered that for me.
Yeah, Duff was basically the was a knockoff version of whatever. I can't fucking remember now, but they basically sued that beer. Then him, Homer, and Peter Griffin had a massive fight, and it was kind of like the fight that Peter Griffin would have when he was fighting the chicken. Again, people probably don't even know what I'm talking about there, but back in the day. I think it was in like the first series. There was a giant chicken. He was handing out coupons in the first series, and then a Y2K was about to happen, and he was telling him, "Oh, you need to build like a bunker and so on and so forth." And he was like, "Oh, okay, fine, yeah, whatever." Da, da, da. And then something then happens, and then every time he would run into this big fuck off chicken, it was a massive chicken. He would have a huge fight with him, and it would end up in like aeroplanes and oil rigs and kitchens, and like he would kill the chicken, and then the chicken would then still be alive. Like the camera would zoom in on the chicken's body, and its eyes would then open up. It's probably from memory, in all honesty. If I had a better memory, it'd probably be Homer, but from memory, and just having a barrel of laughs out of all the shit that came out of his mouth. Peter Griffin for me. So on to the next one, boys.
Yeah, go ahead, McSweeney.
That's a really good shout. Yeah, well, I'm going to go a bit more PG and say Bart Simpson. I think mainly because he, to me, was like the American version of Dennis the Menace. Like where he just liked to do anything mischievous. He'd like to play pranks on people. I remember even like the prank calls he used to do to like would he do it's like Moe's Tavern and stuff with it, would he?
Yeah, Mr. Sizlak, yeah.
That's it, yeah. So the stuff he used to do, then of course I would then have my mates around when I was younger. I'd do prank calls as well. And actually the funny thing is that those were before the days I knew how to withhold a number.
141, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know how to do that until about 2002, 2003, yeah. And I remember one time I was just incessantly doing these prank calls, and I called up this premium rate number to do it. It's this joke line thing, and I clocked up a bill of 178 quid for my parents, and my dad was fuming about it. But drawing back to the original inspiration for that was from Bart Simpson, and just you're on his skateboard. I never had a skateboard, but playing the games. There's an arcade machine at the local swimming centre in Kingston, Kingfisher, and they had an arcade game with the Simpsons. I'd always choose Bart, and that would be it'd be really cool. Just mess around the skateboard, basically knocking into people, doing all sorts of stuff. Yeah, just I think he's really cheeky. He's got a good heart as well. Was that episode where he almost died as well? He swallowed something, wasn't it? Really sharp.
Yeah, the crusty cereal.
That was it. Yeah, and you think, go on.
No, he swallowed it, and then the actual episode ended up being about Lisa and the jazz musician who was also in the hospital. But yeah,
yes, yeah. But Bleeding Gums Murphy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Bleeding Gums.
Yeah,
Murphy,
so But yeah, I just think he's one of those. It's like he's not a bad kid. He just likes to kind of wind people up. He likes to push
Yeah,
people's buttons. Play up at school, and you got the bullies at the school as well. And he's getting picked on by even he's getting picked on by them
yeah,
at
yeah,
some point. He was just a really cool kid, and I think yeah, eat my shorts was one of his catchphrases as well, wasn't it? But
yeah.
yeah, I think he's just all round. When you're a kid growing up watching cartoons, he was the most kind of memorable and most charismatic from my point of view.
Mm.
What about
Okay.
yourself?
So for me, to be honest, it was hard not to choose one for from Simpsons, but I'm going to do a special mention for Willie, our favorite Scotsman, from
Oh
Simpsons.
yes, yes.
All of his scenes are just fucking funny. You just can't help it. Obviously, the way they portray him in the show, being a bit of a bit of a lonely, sado outcast, and yeah, all of his even his lines, the way he speaks, everything about him is just hilarious. So yeah, whenever there's a scene I literally just watched the other day where he's pretending to be Milhouse in the teacher's lounge or whatever it was, and he even has the glasses on. Mate, it was hilarious. I remember watching it for the
Groundskeeper
first
Willie,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, Grand Skip Willie, yeah.
Oh,
So he gets a special mention. But he's not my favorite cartoon.
good
The
man.
favorite My favorite cartoon character, I actually sent you guys a picture of him before. It was from Digimon. It was a Digimon called Myotismon, who was one of the evil main bosses, evil person from part of season one. And I remember, and the reason I chose him was because again, he was so dark, he was so powerful, that evilness to him. Most of his scenes were in the dark. The actual attack moves he had, Grizzly Wing and Crimson Lightning, even the way the red lightning thing would come out. One of my favorite episodes of Digimon is when he gets killed, actually. Um, I'm not going to go into details. You guys won't have a clue what I'm on about, and you find it boring. But I watched the episode back a lot. It's my favorite episode from Digimon, and him being the baddie as well. It was just a character which resonated with me when I was younger, and again because it was so dark and evil, and no one could defeat him until obviously they finally managed to find the way to defeat him. And I just thought he was so cool. He looked cool as well for me back in those days. I remember having him as my phone screen, my first phone I ever had. He was my wallpaper on my phone because I used to find him so fucking cool. It's one that's out there. I could easily go with someone from The Simpsons, like I said, like Willie and stuff. But if I had to like think outside the box and go for someone who I really liked growing up, it was him. So my Otismon, the Digimon, is my favorite cartoon character. Swiftly moving on to least favorite cartoon character, and I'll kick this one off, and I'm gonna say it's Jerry from Tom and Jerry, because that little shit when I was growing up watching Tom and Jerry. Obviously, I'm sure I was one of the few who wanted Tom to win for once and eat that little bloody mouse, that rat, whatever it was. And I used to get so annoyed watching Tom and Jerry, thinking, why doesn't he finally get his comeuppance? Why is Tom always the loser? And I felt sorry for Tom. So yeah, Jerry is my pick. I know it's one that's out there, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Jerry as my least favorite cartoon character because the cunt would never die, basically. McSweeney, moving on to you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there aren't many I don't particularly well that I dislike or even hate. There's ones I get less, and this is probably going to factor into the answer. But I guess look, I never watched SpongeBob SquarePants, so I was a bit too old
Oh
for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Whereas I think you guys were probably borderline watching it or watching it. Um,
yeah. On and off, sort of, but not a favorite.
yeah, I just look at it and I remember being about maybe like just borderline secondary school at the time and thinking, what the hell is this? Like the stuff that again, I was at that point where thinking, yeah, the stuff that we had previously was a lot better. So I was drawing comparisons.
Mm.
I'd say Woody the Woodpecker. I mean, that came on around about that sort of time, about year 2000, 2001. And I remember hearing like the theme tune to it, and I've got nothing against woodpeckers before anyone assumes that. Even when I was out in Australia, I could hear woodpeckers, and you know, the other stuff, the all the wildlife that was out there making a racket. So nothing against them, but just the character itself just seemed quite irritating, like the theme, the voiceover, all that stuff. I can't really think of anyone else that's that irritating. Even like a Scooby Doo, I think he was quite good. Like I guess some people would get irritated by that, but he hasn't been mentioned actually. Shaggy and Scooby Doo, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Woody the Woodpecker.
Timothy, if you're still there, wake up.
We have to nominate.
I'm still here. Sorry, I'm literally modelling on my phone. For me, I mean, most jarring would probably be Millhouse because he was like a suck up, wasn't he? And he was always pining for his best mate's sister. I found it a little bit weird. Like he was his best
Oh
mate,
yeah,
and it
yeah.
was like, you know what, your sister is an absolute bird. I love her. I'm gonna pine after her for the rest of my life, and it's still pining after her now. Like God knows how many fucking decades into it, and he's still mates with Bart. The voice was annoying. Hair was wrong. He had blue hair. I mean, what's going on there? Who the hell has blue hair?
Well, Marge
Marge.
does.
Yeah, Marge. Yeah, fair point. But still, I mean, just an annoying little shit. An annoying little shit. But yeah, for me, it's a Millhouse.
What about his dad though? I actually quite liked his dad because similar to my dad, he used to get really pissed off about noise at night.
He said had it hard though because
What, his dad?
Millhouse's mum, yeah, because Millhouse's mum like hated his dad with an absolute passion, and he was going on, and he and she was like dating blokes right in front of his face, and his dad was just always flat out broke, like he's always trying to go on to the like the
Yeah.
next grind and so on and so forth. But his Millhouse's mum just didn't give a shit. I mean, I felt sorry for the dad. I mean, he was down on his luck all the time, and you kind of got to feel sorry for the bloke
Well,
a little bit.
maybe that's why he was so stressed. But I just remember an episode where someone was making a racket at night. He goes, "Shut up, shut up."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit like in my house with my dad. He used to have sleepovers, yeah. And if someone was like making a loud noise, and like, he'd be like, "You keep it down, boys. Pack it in."
To be honest,
Yeah.
there's loads of characters from Simpsons you can
It's
easily
just too
relate
many,
to,
aren't they?
or like even with least favorites and stuff. You know, I could even say I didn't like Barney, or I didn't like Mr. Burns that much.
Chief
But there's so
Wiggum.
many. Chief Wiggum, yeah, again, annoying voice, but he has his comedy value. You know, I can't say
No, it was the governor.
I can't say I dislike him, but
Curly, Curly, and like the bullies. I don't know, like
oh
those
yeah,
kids.
Jimbo.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
Yeah, there's loads there, to be honest. To be honest, even my selection it's a bit of a stupid one. You know, I just thought, yeah, who did I always have a lot of hatred for growing up because because it was annoying. Like I said, with Jerry being a cunt and always winning and Tom always losing. But it's a tough question to ask. But yeah, I think we did all right with what we managed to come up with. Mentioned some good TV shows there.
yeah.
To be honest, like even Tommy, when you mentioned Family Guy, I mean, I'm sure that's on Disney Plus. You should go back and rewatch season 1 onwards, and then you'll start to enjoy it a bit more again because you can actually go back and watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, good shout. I probably will. Cheers, mate.
Cool. So that's another one done and in the bag. Cheers, guys, as always. Yeah, we'll do heroes and villains next week.
Yeah.
So in 2
Cool.
weeks' time, I should say. And then yeah,
Yeah.
see you on the next one, guys.
All right. Nice
All right,
one.
see you later, Jim.
Cheers. Have a
Cheers.
good one. Bye.
See you later.
Cheers,
Bye.
bye-bye.